Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is a duo open tarp camping on the edge of a lake on a cloudy and hopefully a rainy day.
It's supposed to rain tonight anyways.
Yeah, it was snowing earlier on, believe it or not, and that has stopped. It did start raining, that has also stopped. So we're hoping the wind picks up, comes off this lake, and starts blowing these tarps around. We'll have a really great time. So today's episode is actually really kind of special. It's kind of a goodbye. And it's kind of a hello for new beginning. So this is my last camping trip with Mike for quite some time.
Unfortunately, but...
Yes, I am going to be making my way back here and camping with him a little bit more, but my life is evolving and changing. There's a lot of things happening. A lot of you that have been following me on Instagram and the live stream chats here on the channel, you guys already know what is happening. I am moving to a more prosperous area with way more opportunity for film and life. And I'm very excited about it, but I gotta leave him behind.
But nonetheless, I'm excited for him, and he knows it, but I also know that he'll be back, and I'll be making my way to where he is.
Absolutely.
Eventually.
So this is our last night together camping out. So we chose to do two open style tarps. I'm having a hard time talking right now. I'm very excited, so my brain right now is all over the place. But we wanted to do two open tarp configurations. So Mike's over here, I'm over here, and we're gonna have a great time. So we're actually gonna be getting the campfire going this evening. So we gotta clean that out, gather up some firewood. Luckily, there's already firewood down here from the last person that was here. So we're gonna try and utilize some of this. It's a little damp and wet, but with a fire big and hot enough, anything will burn. So why don't you say we do up a quick coffee?
Yeah.
Do that, and then we'll start on firewood.
Yeah.
All right,
to me.
Coffee time and the firewood, guys. All right, guys, we've got our hot coffee on the go right now. The rain is still holding off, but it is still very dark in the sky. It's kind of lightening up a little bit in the thin clouds, but there are some dark rolling clouds off in the distance that I think are going to be making their way this way. So fingers crossed, hopefully we get dumped on with rain, because the last time Mike and I were here in this location together, it poured with rain, and it was an awesome time.
Fun.
So that was fun. That was a good time.
It was.
So today we are going to be doing coffee, like I said earlier, and then we're going to turn our attention to gathering firewood. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there's already a bunch of firewood here, and our intentions are not to have a very large fire, anticipating rain coming in and then being underneath the tarps. We don't need a huge fire. So we are going to clean out the fire pit a little bit, get a small fire going in there, and if the weather permits, I'm going to do my cooking out here. I assume you will as well.
Yeah.
And we'll take it from there. But for now, we're going to relax and enjoy some coffee, guys. So cheers. right, guys, so it's been about an hour and a half since the last time we checked in. We cut and split a bunch of firewood. Two things going on with this now. We have split a bunch of hardwood, and the reason why we've done that is the fire is blowing literally towards Mike's tarp and all of his gear. So Mike sourced a good supply of maple, and I sourced a good supply of oak. So we have two really dense hardwoods on the fire that are basically spitting no embers. So when the wind whips up a little later on, even right now, there's no embers flying towards his shelter, and the smoke is going to be minimal with the hardwood as well. So we're trying to stay away from all that softwood nastiness, spitting embers and all that stuff. So that is going. We're also going to start cooking. So Mike has already got his food stuff out. I'm going to go ahead and grab mine, get it out, and I think we're going to get both of our frying pans over top of the fire, start cooking some supper, and hopefully the rain will hold off a little longer. I am really looking forward to rain tonight, though. I think if the rain really comes in, I would like it to be tonight, just tapping on the tarp and just laying there enjoying it. So that's what we're going to do right now. Start cooking, get all that taken care of, and then load this fire up for a nice night fire in the darkness. All right, guys, supper's all done, and definitely a really good dinner. Mike had an awesome dinner, I had a great dinner, and we're both stuffed. So the rain has come in. It is very fine mist right now. The temperature's dropped, the wind is pushing in quite hard too, kind of intermittently. Right now it's not blowing terribly hard, but it was moments ago. We've got the campfire stoked up, and we're kind of huddled around it now, feeling the warmth. And just kind of enjoying the evening. So we got both tarps lit up. Looks pretty awesome out here. And we had some geese fly over a little while ago, so a little bit of wildlife action. And I think the plan for tonight is just to kind of hunker near the campfire and just talk amongst ourselves. As I said earlier in the video, this is our last camping trip together for probably at least a month. Probably a month, maybe a month and a half. Yeah. It's going to be a little while before we get to see each other in camp. So on to new territory for me. A whole new home, and well, you'll be following along on the channel.
Oh, definitely.
And Instagram. So yeah, so we're just going to take the night to just talk amongst each other and just kind of enjoy the fire, and we'll catch up with you guys before bedtime. All right, guys, it is very late right now. Mike and I just left the campfire. It is still burning a little bit, and I can actually see it underneath of the tarp, so that's kind of interesting. There is a little bit of mist. The rain is kind of misting inside of here, so the top end of my sleeping pad is wet. Now, I could close these two doors off to stop that from happening, but to be totally honest, I want the full open experience. I really do enjoy that. The hood of my sleeping bag is a little bit damp, but everything else is totally fine. I did just pull the whole ground sheet and pad towards the foot end, so that should help keep that quite a bit drier. And ultimately, I'm not really worried about it. Everything looks pretty decent right now. It's about midnight, so realistically, crawling in here, I'm going to be in here for maybe 7 hours for sleep and be up early in the morning, so I'm not worried about it at all. But right now, I do have my downfill pants. I've got my Baffin boots, and I'm basically going to be getting changed, getting the camera put away, crawling inside, and I'm going to call it a night. Now, there is one thing I do want to do. I want to get my backpack up here on my head end, and I want to put the rain fly over my backpack to stop a lot of that mist from coming in, and that'll also act as a pillow for my head. So I'm going to do all of that, and basically I just want to say goodnight to you guys because I'm going to be packing the camera away so it does not get wet, and get all this stuff squared away, jump in the sleeping bag, and off to sleep. So good night, guys, and I'll see you first thing in the morning. Mikey, wake up! Mikey, wake up! Mikey, wake up! It's the last day! Wake up! Wake
I'm
up!
awake, bud.
Say hi to YouTube.
You're excited.
Say hi to YouTube. YouTube's watching you right now, bud.
Hi.
Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful morning out here right on the edge of the lake. It's windy, it's misty, it's a little rainy, and I gotta say, it's definitely enjoyable. It reminds me of home sweet home on Vancouver Island, but it's not, but it will do. So last night's sleep was very, very enjoyable. My sleeping bag, my sleeping pad is totally soaked, and that's fine because I was nice and dry. And just the atmosphere of that fine mist rain coming in and landing on my face really made me enjoy the experience 100%. So I'm up early with a hot cup of coffee. I just finished rudely awakening Mike on our last camping day, probably in like a month to a month and a half. I tackled him inside of his tarp. I thought he didn't see me coming, but he did. But anyways, I still got him. He laughed it up. He's up now. He's gonna be making coffee. So I think I'm gonna get my boots on, get these slippers off, and make my way over towards the fire pit. All right, so we've already started half of our pack up process. I've got everything in my bag except for my tarp. Mike is pretty much at the same area other than his coffee stuff. So this is gonna be a super fast pack up. Just gonna give the tarps a good shake to get all that water off and then just cram it in the backpack. This is a monstrous ball of chaos and I'm gonna take care of it when I get home as I usually do. Everything's wet, so I'll just hang it up when I get home and deal with it that way. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. Mike's doing his coffee, and I think we're gonna be hitting the trail rather early, try and beat some of this wind and rain and just kind of get on the trail and get out of here. So it's gonna be a really quick coffee, a really quick tarp pack up, and then goodbye, and we're gonna hit the trail. All right, guys, coffee routine is done. Everything is totally packed up. Mike's throwing his jacket on. I've got mine in my backpack. I'm just gonna work up a sweat hiking out of here, so I'm not terribly worried about it. The fire pit is totally out, so there's no fire damage or fire warning or any kind of issues there. Everything's cleaned up and we're basically ready to hit the trail. So I want to say thank you guys for joining us on this trip. And as always, leave your comments and questions down below. And peace out. I'll catch you in the next one.
Later.